Hello there, I am MP06 and I welcome you all to my channel. To start off this journey on YouTube, I decided to let you know a bit of me. So here is my top 10 favorite anime. If your favorite anime isn't in this, don't get mad at me in the comments please, but instead let me know your top 10 favorite anime. Let's start off my top 10 in a different world. Number 10. Skeleton Knight in Another World. I know that this might seem like one of the many isekai series, all identical to each other, but trust me, this show is very good. It follows the adventures of Ark, a guy who ended up in another world after falling asleep while playing his favorite game, ending in a world with the appearance of his in-game avatar. Number 9. Gushing Over Magical Girls. Now hear me out. This is indeed a NSFW anime, but despite its many flaws, I enjoyed it. This anime tells Utena Hiragi's story, a 15-year-old girl that awakes her sadistic side after accidentally joining the evil organization in Armida. This show is full of, content, but underneath the appearance is a very funny and annoyable show that should be watched only by adults, of course. Number 8. The Pet Girl of Sakurasu. Let's go back to 2012, a time when anime were a lot simpler, not repetitive, and didn't require crazy battle animations. This is the story of Sarada Kanda, a second-year high school student that lives in the Sakurasu, a dorm with other problematic students. His life changes, however, upon encountering Shina Mashiro, a new arrival to the Sakurasu. Everything seems normal except that the girl is completely unable to take care of herself, which will bring a lot of funny moments, misunderstandings, and even some romance. Number 7. Overlord. I think this anime needs no introduction. Overlord has been from its release one of the most famous isekai anime. The story features Momonga, the last member of the guild Ainz Ul Gaon, remaining trapped alongside all the NPCs created by his comrades in another world. After taking the guild's name for himself, hoping that his companions might still be around, he sets to a series of adventures to conquer the entire world under the Sorcery King reign. Number 6. Tanakawa, Over the Moon for You. From a story about a skeleton conquering the world to a story about a married couple living their life in a completely normal world. Or at least I thought so before watching it and reading the manga. This show is around Nasa Yuzaki and Tsukasa Yuzaki getting married after her saving his life 2 years prior and him promising to marry her, as she's the cutest in the world. Number 5. Let's get serious now. This may sound crazy, but at 5th place I'm putting Azur Lane's Slow Ahead. While it's true that Azur Lane is mostly about hot girls and naval battles, this show takes things way easier. It's a series of shorts about the starter ships from the game itself. Laffy from the Eagle Union, Javelin from the Royal Navy, Ayanami from the Sakura Empire, and last but not least, Z-23 from the Iron Blood. Taking place after Azur Lane, the animation where they met for the first time, this show features the quartet living their school life, interacting with the other ship girls in the base, and having fun all day long. Number 4. Toradora. This is a 2008 anime, and I believe it still holds up with most recent series. Following the life of Ryuji Takasu, a very chill and kind guy with a menacing look, courtesy from his father, and Taiga Isaka, the definition of a tsundere girl, whose J-Sut as short as much as she's a menace, rapidly resorting to violence and insults to hide her true personality. After a quite weird encounter, the two decide to form some sort of alliance, because he is in love with her best friend, and she is in love with his best friend to ensure their success. We finally arrived at my podium, and on 3rd place there's Bocchi the Rock. This anime is not only quite reliable, but also crazily well animated. Seriously, they nailed it with the animations. The story features Hitori Goto, a first-year high school girl. Despite all her efforts, she never managed to have a single friend. But her life changes upon meeting with Nijika Ijichi, a drummer in her indie rock band called Kasoku Band, searching for a replacement guitarist for the upcoming live. This meeting helps Hitori to get some new friends, including Ryo Yamada, the band's bassist, and Ikuyo Kita, the guitarist that ran off from the first live, and of course Nijika, who becomes one of her closest friends. On 2nd place, we've got a story about both love and war, Of course, I'm talking about Kaguya-sama. Love is War, another series that I think doesn't need many introductions, but I'll do one anyway. This series is about the never-ending brain war between Kaguya Shinomiya, who's student council's vice president, and Miyuki Shirogane, who's the president, to make the other one confess their love to the opposite side. Their psychological warfare gets often twisted by Chika Fujiwara, Kaguya's best friends and student council secretary, who acts like a jolly in their game, Yu Ishigami, the student council treasurer, with a depressing past on his back, and at last Miko Ino, a girl whose past is intertwined with Ishigami's despite them hating each other at the beginning. And at last, we finally arrived to my favorite anime. Like Optimus Prime would say, the next show on the list is more than meets the eye. In the first place, I put School Live. This series is not exactly popular, but let me tell you something about this masterpiece. The story is about Yuki Takeya, a third-year-old student to the Megurigaoka High School. She loves her school more than anything else, and spends her days either in classrooms to learn or in the school live club's room, along with her friends. Kurumi Ebisuzawa, a purple-haired girl that brings a shovel everywhere she goes, and Yuri Wakasa, the club's president, and Megumi Sakura, her favorite teacher and club's responsible. However, this series is not what it looks like. In reality, the school is almost fully destroyed. The students turned into zombies after an experiment to create super soldiers like Captain America failed, and Megumi is actually dead. The illusion that everything is fine is nothing but a distortion, created by Yuki's mind after Megumi's dead. Despite everything, the other two survivors take care of Yuki, as she's the only thing that keeps them from losing it. Later in the series, they encounter Miki Naoki, a second year, who hid herself in the city's mall when the infection broke out, along with the club's mascot, Taramaru, a little dog that gets later infected. Every single episode is fundamental for the story, as the first episode is about Yuki's delusions, the second about Kurumi's past, as she had to decapitate her beloved senpai when he turned into a zombie. The third is about Megumi, learning the truth about the infection right before being killed, and so on. I could stay hours here to talk about why this series is so good, but I'd end up annoying you too much, so let's wrap this up. We've finally reached the end of the video. If you want to hear more about this series I mentioned, tell me in the comments, as I might do a separate video for each and every one of them. So, that's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, and we'll see each other in the next one. Have a good day.